This document offers a panorama of human singularities, highlighting exceptional life journeys and emblematic figures whose resilience has marked the world and redefined perceptions of normality. Number 10. Julia Ann Gnus. The journey of Julia Ann Gnus is an eloquent example of transforming an affliction into a work of art and a powerful testimony to empowerment through bodily expression. Confronted with porphyria, a painful skin disease that makes her skin particularly vulnerable and prone to scarring, Ms. Gnus made the audacious choice to cover nearly 95% of her body with tattoos. This approach, initially started as a therapeutic camouflage method to mask the marks of her illness, quickly transformed into a personal artistic quest and a radical affirmation of self. She thus subverted the stigmas associated with her health condition into a striking visual identity, making her body a living canvas. Her status as the world's most tattooed woman, recognized by renowned institutions, cements her legacy not only as a media figure, but also as a pioneer who helped broaden the societal definition of beauty. Her story is intrinsically linked to the concept of psychological resilience, demonstrating that it is possible to transcend physical pain and health challenges to forge unshakable confidence and a unique sense of self. She represents an inspiring figure for those seeking to reclaim their bodies despite judgment, proving that art can be a powerful vehicle for healing and identity reappropriation. Number 9. Alonzo Clemens. Alonzo Clemens embodies the fascinating phenomenon of savant syndrome, where an apparently limited cognitive capacity coexists with an exceptional artistic aptitude. Following an early traumatic brain injury, his intellectual development was affected, resulting in an IQ in the low range. Nevertheless, he possesses an extraordinary gift for animal sculpture, characterized by impressive realism and anatomical precision. His creative process is particularly remarkable. He only needs to briefly observe a subject to memorize the smallest details, which he then reproduces faithfully and at a bewildering speed, working the clay with his bare hands. This gift, which seems disconnected from conventional learning mechanisms, raises fundamental questions about the unexploited potential of the human brain and how neural pathways can reconfigure after trauma. Clemens's works have achieved international recognition, commanding significant prices, which testifies to their aesthetic value and the sculptor's technical quality. His life is a powerful demonstration that neurological challenges are not necessarily insurmountable barriers to the expression of genius, but can sometimes serve as a catalyst for the emergence of unique and spectacular aptitudes, enriching the art world with his singularity. Number 8. Gino Martino. Gino Martino, known globally by the evocative nickname, the Human Anvil, distinguished himself by an uncommon physical resistance and endurance capacity, particularly concerning his skull. Specializing in strongman acts and also a professional wrestler, he developed performances where he uses his head without any protection to break extremely resistant objects, ranging from cinder blocks to baseball bats and even steel bars. What might be perceived as a simple act of bravado is, in reality, supported by a rare physiological particularity. In-depth medical examinations revealed that his skull possesses a thickness and density superior to the human average, favorably comparing it to the resistance of an industrial safety helmet. However, his feat does not rely solely on this bone anomaly. It is also the result of an exceptional tolerance to pain and a sharp mental concentration, allowing him to channel his force and minimize the impact. Gino Martino thus embodies the fusion between a unique physical characteristic and rigorous psychological determination. His performance art pushes the limits of bodily resilience and demonstrates how far training and will can allow an individual to interact with their environment in a way physically impossible for the majority. Number 7. Isabelle. The story of Isabella, a young Canadian woman, is a pivot in the contemporary discourse on the acceptance of difference and body positivity. Born with Klippel-Trenaunay syndrome, a rare congenital condition manifesting as a malformation and excessive growth of blood vessels, her right leg is visibly more voluminous than the left and marked by a distinctive birthmark. Faced with this physical difference, often a source of stigma and shame in other contexts, Isabella chose a path of pride and radical authenticity. The catalyst for her role as an activist was the viral publication of a photograph where she confidently and unapologetically displayed her leg on a beach. This image, which became a powerful symbol on social networks, transformed a medical condition into a banner of inspiration. Isabella successfully captured global attention by turning her perceived vulnerability into a manifest strength. Her influence extends beyond her own condition, encouraging thousands of individuals worldwide to embrace their own singularities, whether medical in origin or not, and to reject the pressure of uniform beauty standards. Her impact illustrates how a personal act of courage can propagate to become a significant social movement in favor of inclusion. Number 6. Gabby Show. Gabby Show represents a poignant testimony to human tenacity and the advances in reconstructive medicine. Diagnosed at a young age with osteosarcoma, an aggressive form of bone cancer affecting her knee, she had to face the threat of a conventional amputation. To maximize the functionality of her limb and offer her the best chance of recovering active mobility, she benefited from an innovative surgical procedure, rotationplasty. This complex procedure involves the resection of the tumor area, the rotation of the lower limb by 180 degrees, and its fixation, allowing the ankle to serve as a knee joint for a prosthesis. Adapting to such a major bodily modification requires immense physical and psychological resilience. Despite this ordeal, Gabby Show returned to her passion, competitive dance, and excels in several disciplines. Her return to the stage is more than a sporting achievement. It is an affirmation of life in the face of illness and proof that the definition of performance and grace can transcend conventional physical limitations. She has become a major inspirational figure, using her story to raise awareness about childhood cancer and to demonstrate that courage, combined with medical innovation, can transform a perceived adversity from a definitive obstacle into a springboard toward a renewed and magnificent future. Number 5. Rajmoan NY. Rajmoan NY is a figure of scientific and public fascination, known internationally as the Electric Man of India, due to his apparent immunity to high-voltage electric shocks. His particularity, which he claims to have discovered accidentally after handling a live wire without suffering the usual consequences, relies on an exceptional bodily resistance to electricity. Observations and public demonstrations by Rajmoan NY, where he circulates electric current through his body to power electrical equipment, suggest a significantly higher cutaneous and internal electrical resistance than that measured in the majority of human beings. Under normal conditions, the passage of such a voltage would cause severe burns, neurological damage, or cardiac arrest. The case of Rajmoan NY partially defies the conventional laws of physics and biology regarding human conductivity. Although certain aspects of his demonstrations can be attributed to technical factors or a mastery of the current entry and exit points, his phenomenon continues to challenge researchers. He illustrates the extreme potentials of human physiological variability, forcing a dialogue between established science and inexplicable bodily manifestations, keeping him in a permanent state of fascination and light, informed skepticism. Number 4. Liing. Liing, acclaimed as the king of head balances, transformed physical prowess into an extreme art, achieving an apparently inaccessible level of mastery. Perfect balance on his head, supported by a single nail. This type of feat goes beyond a simple demonstration of strength and balance. It requires psychological concentration and a physical condition described as mortal attention due to the inherent danger. To achieve this singularity, Ling subjected himself to an arduous and meticulous training regimen, including strengthening exercises for the neck and vertebral column, such as balancing on minimal surfaces or supporting massive loads such as concrete slabs. This intensive training aims not only to develop the necessary musculature, but also to induce the formation of protective scar tissue. The use of a nail, whose contact surface is minute, represents the ultimate test of his neuromuscular control. The success of such a performance depends on millimeter precision and absolute stability. Ling's journey is a striking example of how will and years of discipline can allow a human to dominate pain and push back physiological boundaries, creating a unique demonstration of corporal control worldwide. Number 3, Levi Kreisk. The life of Levi Kreisk is a chronicle of resilience in the face of an extremely rare and considerably serious genetic disease, Jansen's metaphyseal chondrodysplasia, JMC. This disease, which affects only about 30 individuals identified worldwide, is characterized by severe and painful bone abnormalities, marked growth delay, and a cascade of complex health complications, including chronic kidney failure and optic nerve atrophy. The initial prognosis for Levi was grim, with health professionals expressing doubts about his ability to ever walk. However, thanks to early and continuous specialized medical intervention, his development surpassed the most pessimistic expectations, allowing him to maintain a remarkable level of mobility. Levi's journey is also marked by significant activism. His story mobilized charitable organizations to finance the numerous medical trips necessary for his treatment. He has become a standard bearer in the fight against rare genetic diseases, illustrating not only the individual's capacity to persevere in the face of devastating genetic adversity, but also the crucial need for community support and medical innovation to transform a prognosis into a dignified and active life path. Number 2, Colby Van Voorhis. Colby Van Voorhis has turned his genetic condition, thrombocytopenia with absent radius, TAR syndrome, into a platform for humor, self-acceptance, and public awareness. TAR syndrome is an extremely rare disorder, resulting in the congenital absence of the radius bones in the arms and knee joints, thus attaching his hands directly to his torso. Faced with a physique that presents significant challenges to autonomy in daily life activities, Colby developed inventive adaptation strategies and a remarkably positive attitude. His choice to feature himself on social media platforms, particularly TikTok, under a pseudonym that humorously and frankly reflects his physical difference, allowed him to create an open dialogue about disability. He uses comedy as a powerful tool to deconstruct taboos and normalize his appearance. His unconventional approach allowed him to rally tens of thousands of subscribers, inspiring a community to look beyond appearances and embrace personal authenticity. Colby Van Voorhis demonstrates that adaptation, humor, and digital visibility are powerful levers for breaking down barriers and transforming a physical difference perceived as a limitation into a source of societal influence and inspiration. Number 11, Unforeseen Cases Moment. The man in the right-hand image lived almost his entire life in the shadow of glances. Born with an extremely rare facial condition, his face transformed over the years, sculpted by time and singularity. Doctors studied his case without ever reaching a definitive conclusion. Yet, behind this unsettling appearance, he was known for his wisdom and calmness. In his village, people came to hear him tell stories and give advice. His difference, once a source of fear, became a symbol of respect and human resilience. The woman in the left-hand image was born with a facial anomaly so unique that no medical record resembled hers. From childhood, she learned to live with the curiosity and sometimes the cruelty of others. Despite this, she developed remarkable inner strength. Her smile, even if different, revealed sincere joy. She loved to go out, wear colorful hats, and affirm her identity. For specialists, she represented a medical mystery. For those who truly knew her, she embodied courage and self-acceptance. These figures testify to the unwavering strength of the human spirit in the face of adversity, masterfully illustrating how singularities can be transformed into deep sources of inspiration, resilience, and power.